Please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, Chairman, Provost, honoured guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, by virtue of the power vested in me as President of SOAS, I hereby constitute this congregation for the conferment of degrees for SOAS University of London. Thank you to Kajali for his music. He's been performing at SOAS graduation since 2007, and Kajali is actually a Kora music teacher here. So I'm Zainab Badawi. It is my honour to welcome you all to this ceremony. It is a time of great celebration and one of the highlights, or indeed the highlight, of the SOAS calendar. And of course, graduands, soon to be graduates, it is a landmark occasion for you and your families. Today is a day for celebrating our graduates, and I know that many of your families have travelled from across the world to be here today for this once-in-a-lifetime event for your loved ones, and often at considerable effort and cost. And so I'm sure you will all join me in wishing that we can come together as a community to honour our graduates, and that this ceremony will be the joyous and smooth celebration that it should be. So graduands, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you as a fellow SOASian, not only as President of SOAS, because I had the privilege of carrying out postgraduate studies here many, many years ago. And it's an amazing university, because you're not just graduating from any higher education institution. SOAS is a very, very special place, as I knew myself from the inside. For more than 100 years, it's been providing specialist scholarship on the languages, cultures, societies, politics and economics of Asia, Africa and the Middle East. And as somebody with both Arab and African heritage, the insights I gained from my studies here have really been transformative and helped provide me with a very solid framework in my career, grappling with important subjects which have defined our past, explained the present, and will shape the future. So I was born in Sudan, and of course, like many people, I've watched with increasing horror the situation there, the conflict which has raged for more than 2 years. And I just want to tell you a little bit about SOAS. Not only does it provide you with a fine education, but it also is an institution that actually practices what it preaches, because it actually espouses values which I hold dear. So as a member of the Sudanese diaspora, although I've lived here since I was an infant, we felt that we wanted to do something about the terrible situation in Sudan. And so at the instigation of the Vice-Chancellor, one of his deputies, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Laura Hammond, who's Vice-Chancellor for Knowledge and Research, and also people like Professor Lutz Zaweti from the Human Rights Department, Dr. Nada Ali, they said, look, we'll help you set up a humanitarian initiative to help the people of Sudan. So under the auspices of SOAS, using their convening power, we established something called the Humanitarian Action for Sudan Group. And, you know, we've been provided with wise counsel, with facilities at SOAS to try to raise money. And these academics used, you know, their precious spare time to help us in this venture. And we raised funds, and certainly we helped many desperate civilians in Sudan by providing them with food and medical assistance. So that is the university that you are graduating from, and I would wish you also to demonstrate in your future paths that same passion and compassion which I have experienced here. And it's rare to find a place like SOAS that brings together these values and knowledge. So you've had critical thinking, which has been nurtured and enhanced here, and you've got a global perspective, because of course nothing can be solved in the world today unless you understand that you need to respond to global challenges in a global way. And, you know, in my long career as a broadcast journalist, I've had the privilege of meeting many people, but somebody who really impressed me was the late, great Kenyan environmentalist Wangari Maathai, who won the Nobel Peace Prize, the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004 for her efforts in planting trees. You know, she's one of the early pioneers of the green movement, and sadly she died in 2011. And one of the many wise things she said, but that has particularly stuck in my head, is you cannot enslave a mind that knows itself, that values itself, that understands itself. And Wangari was right, because knowledge is freedom and knowledge is power. And I'd like you to remember that, because in the future, whether you go into the world of work or you continue your studies, you will encounter people who may oppose you, or at least not support you in your endeavors. But don't let other people's preconceptions about your abilities and your ambitions limit you in any way. Just keep on meeting these challenges. And I want you to understand that you've got to keep on learning, even though you're graduating today. This is a process that should stay with you throughout your life. Be curious. Never stop being curious. Curiosity is very, very important. So see this as the firing of the starting pistol in a race that never ends, as you are awarded your certificates today. Continue studying in all sorts of ways with hunger and discipline, because everything you have learnt in the library here and in the lecture hall can be applied in the real world. Now I'd like to invite Lord Hastings, Michael Hastings, Chairman of the Board of Trustees here at SOAS, to give you his opening remarks. And congratulations, graduates. We are all very, very proud of you.
Well, very good morning to all of you who have come as guests, friends, family, and especially to those our graduates today who will transfer into a new phase of life. And I wanted to genuinely say to you at the beginning, we're seriously sorry you're leaving us. You've given us the benefit of helping to shape how you think, how you feel, how you develop. So thank you for that gift. And we hope that we've honored that gift that you've shared with significance. Thank you. The President mentioned her own background, so I'll mention mine for fun, although I do get often asked the question, where are you really from? And the answer to that is my dear father, born in Luanda in Angola, his parents from Calcutta in India, my mother born in Savannah-la-Mar, Jamaica, her mother from Ghana, from Kinshasa, and her father from Panama. So I'm Scottish, and I'm... We do live in a very mixed world. I'm sure you will have noticed, if not our friends on this side, certainly our friends on this side, that in the middle of August, Cambridge University published their latest Cambridge University Dictionary of English, and they added 6,000 new words. And the key word that they added, which got the major headline, was skibidi. And I knew you'd recognize that, you see. This generation knows skibidi. And as I discovered in conversations with some students yesterday, it's quite a regular one, and skibidi is a kind of like, what are you really doing, skibidi? What are you up to? The other word that got headlines was delulu. And there you go. And delulu is a play on the word delusional, which really means believing things that are not real and not true, but you choose to believe them. I think that's called social media. Now, the question I want to leave with you, particularly as our graduates, is as you step into the world beyond from this afternoon and tomorrow, what word would you want to put into the SOAS Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary? What word would you want to put that represents your experience? How would you define yourself by a word. Well, I was reading a speech given by the chief executive of what is now the world's biggest company, NVIDIA. And there isn't a single piece of technology anywhere on the planet that doesn't have a little bit of NVIDIA in it. And to be perfectly honest, none of us had ever heard of NVIDIA until about 3 years ago, although it was operating over decades, but we didn't really pay much attention to semiconductors, but now we all do, because they control the future of the AI world. And NVIDIA published its quarterly results last week, and their annualized profit, well, revenue from their quarterly results, will be $4.7 trillion. That is just about the same size as the UK economy and the French economy, slightly smaller than the German economy, 5 times the size of the Dutch economy, 10 times the size of the economy of the whole of the continent of Africa. Listening to the chief executive of now the world's biggest company giving a lecture to students, he said that in order to develop the innovative qualities that are needed in a technology business, it requires people to have the opportunity to face challenge and bounce back. He talked in particular of the need for resilience. Resilience being that unique experience of something going badly wrong, and then you don't give up. Greatness, he said, is not intelligence. Greatness comes from character, and character isn't formed out of smart people. Character is formed from people who suffer. Now, not many of us would rush to say the word we most want is suffering. But maybe we might say resilience. I want to develop the capacity, having done as well as I've done at SOAS, having gone into the world beyond me, to face failure, tolerate it, learn from the experience, experiment, innovate, and go again. Over the weekend, I was reading a reflection by a man called Arlo Brady. He's the chief executive of the Freud group of companies. Freud, a well-known historical psychiatrist. The Freud group of companies exists in order to drive good public relations and communications. In other words, how to put fantasy into reality. He was pointing out in his reflections that as a PR company that must create imagery and make you believe in it, he thinks often of how psychiatrists, like the great former Freud, would think of what's really valuable. Why are we doing this? And he quotes Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a very famous psychiatrist, who says this: "The most beautiful people we have known are those who know defeat, those who've known suffering, those who know struggle. They've known loss, and they've found their way out of the depths. These people have an appreciation, a sensitivity, an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, with gentleness, a deep, loving concern, because beautiful people don't just happen. We get best shaped by how we respond to struggle. So as you go into the world beyond, you've been successful. We're proud of you. You're proud of you. Families and friends are proud of you. But get ready for the big bounce back. You'll need it. Somewhat older than Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, Plato reflected that the highest form of knowledge is empathy. For it requires us to suspend our importance, our ego, and live in another's world. So I long for you all to be beautiful people. Get ready to struggle. Blessings.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael, for your words of wisdom there. So, I mentioned Professor Laura Hammond in my opening remarks, and I would now like to invite Laura, Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Research and Knowledge Exchange, to give the citation reading for our honorary graduate, Ms. Elizabeth Kvitashvili. So every ceremony we have an honorary graduate, somebody of great distinction who we confer an honorary degree on. And Laura, you're going to tell us more about Elizabeth Kvitashvili. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam President, Vice Chancellor, Chair of the Board of Trustees, I now have the great honor to present to you Ms. Elizabeth Kvitashvili for the Honorary Award of Doctor of Social Sciences. Elizabeth has had a distinguished career in humanitarian affairs. After obtaining degrees from Sciences Po in Paris and an MA in Near East Studies from SOAS in 1979, she became the first American diplomat of Georgian heritage and one of the first staff to join the U.S. Agency for International Development in a role dedicated exclusively to emergency management. She worked at USAID for more than 38 years as mission director in Sri Lanka, Russia, and Afghanistan, as well as senior posts in Iraq, Honduras, Rwanda, and the Horn of Africa. She served as founding director of the Office of Conflict Management and Mitigation, Deputy Assistant Administrator for the Bureau for Democracy, Conflict, and Humanitarian Assistance, among other leadership positions. She's also taught on Georgetown University's Conflict Resolution Program for nearly 20 years. At least 3 elements of Elizabeth's work stand out as worthy of recognition. First, her work as a humanitarian Foreign Service officer. Elizabeth's dedication to ensuring that vital humanitarian assistance reaches those most in need, that local capacities are strengthened and employed to build resilience, and that women's empowerment is supported at all times, exemplifies the best of USAID's and other humanitarian agencies' work. There can be no more important time than now, when this work is under threat, to recognize the dedication of people like Elizabeth. Second is her voluntary work. Elizabeth's parents were refugees from Russia and Georgia and came to the US in the 1950s. This personal experience has informed her lifetime of public service and voluntary work. She's worked as a volunteer for numerous charities, including the International Rescue Committee, local refugee support organizations, youth and sports groups, and international Orthodox Christian charities, as well as domestic and international elections monitoring. She's spoken out against the increasing repression of freedom of speech in Georgia and is a strong promoter of Georgian culture and heritage. Third, her commitment to mentoring and teaching on humanitarian affairs, both with her colleagues and in her university teaching. One of her former colleagues recalled, "The thing about Elizabeth is that she always has time for those who are much more junior to her. She listens and gives wise advice. She makes people starting out in the field feel as if their ideas are valuable." Elizabeth's teaching is grounded on the real experience of those who live through conflict and disaster, a deep respect for different cultures, and a pragmatism about how to navigate Byzantine administrative structures. For her lifetime contribution to humanitarian and development work throughout the world, Madam President, I have the honor to request that you confer the degree of Doctor of Sciences, honoris causa, upon Ms. Elizabeth Kvitashvili.
Honestly, I'm so happy to be giving you this.
Thank you very much.
Really, we are so delighted. I give many of these, but really happy to give this to you.
Thank you very much.
So, if you'd like to make your speech, I'll put this here for you. So, Elizabeth, please do give us your acceptance speech. Thank you.
Madam President,
Vice Chancellor, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and especially Laura, thank you very much. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates, soon-to-be graduates. I accept the honor not only on behalf of myself, but also my former colleagues at USAID, the Agency for International Development, who, like me, have strived to assist those suffering from man-made and natural disasters in scores of places around the globe, including Afghanistan, Lebanon, Syria, Ethiopia, Sri Lanka, and Georgia, all places close to my heart. I also wish to acknowledge the humanitarian assistance professionals affected by, I also wish to acknowledge the humanitarian assistance professionals around the world who work in difficult circumstances to assist communities affected by and recovering from crises. Ironically, at a time when the need for such assistance is more acute than ever before, the current U.S. administration has dismantled USAID, choking off critical sources of funding and expertise for global development and humanitarian assistance. To deny the tragedy of these developments would be to ignore a new, more challenging reality. However, I try, and I believe we should all try, to view the current global retreat against the backdrop of history. That is, we should recall Martin Luther King's belief that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Presidents come and go, missteps can be corrected, and further progress can and will be made. But what of you, graduates? What do you do in the meantime? Well, I would wager that for you, your course of study is not a fallback pursuit that you chose because you lack a genuine passion. On the contrary, your course of study is your passion, as it was mine. And passionate people are resilient people. They persist even when others tell them they are crazy to do so. Yes, at first, there may be a need for some creativity and compromise on your part in terms of the positions that you seek and take. But I am confident that you will find your way forward and make a difference in people's lives. In the recent public farewell to USAID, rock star and humanitarian Bono stressed that this calling of ours reflects the goodness of mankind. That is, the desire to make our world better, even when others make it difficult. So stay the course. Stay in this arena. The world needs you. If your time at SOAS has been anything like mine, you are well prepared to take the baton which my generation now passes to you, and to give of yourselves as we did. You will draw on the wellspring of academic, interpersonal, and intercultural wisdom you have assimilated here at SOAS. And as for the indigenous organizations in the affected countries, those groups that have served as our frontline partners, there is no sugarcoating the fact that for the remainder of this U.S. administration, they will be making do with less assistance to the severe detriment of their most at-risk populations. There is no silver lining here. More people will suffer more. It is possible, however, that the hardship of the near term will compel frontline partners to embrace further their own capabilities. Then, once the affliction that is the current administration passes and US, British, and European resources hopefully return to necessary levels, such partners will be better poised to lead their own country's development, while outside donors will play a lesser role in what would be a more robust partnership. If there's one thing that I learned in my 40 years in this work, it's that local knowledge counts. and the power of listening to ordinary people is key, and that we, the non-natives, the outsiders, must do a better job of listening and supporting those local voices. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and thank my family, my husband and 2 children, for supporting the pursuit of my passion for over 40 years at USAID and with international NGOs. Long hours, many absences abroad, sometimes in very dangerous places. I could not have done it without your support, patience, and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, Elizabeth Kvitashvili. So students, as you heard Elizabeth say, she's passing on the baton. You're not the next generation anymore, you're the now generation. So we move to the part of the ceremony where we actually start awarding the degrees, and the cohort of students are from the Department of Development Studies. And although SOAS is leading the way in so many subjects, I just want to give you one statistic, which is SOAS is 5th in the whole world for development studies, and that's according to the prestigious QS World University Rankings. So 5th in the whole world. It's a real testament to the fine teaching that goes on here at SOAS. So I call upon Dr. Anna
cousins. Molly Mackenzie Dunlop. Charlotte Louise Ed Morley. Hannah Megan Evans. Alexis Jade Fisher. Hannah Astrid Francis. Amrita Gidwani. Gabriel Herrera. MD Rafid Hossain. Alessia Houghton Clark. Rabi Ibrahim. Ikrana Wab. Idomu Itu. Felipe Diaz Calgard. Aisha Khan. Taiba Kwawaya. Milu Klein. Bayan Kuwaida. Akib Lakani. Alexandra Lane. Yuking Liu. Robert McMichael. Aditi Mota. Sarah Musa. William Morioki. Loic Noel. Shiori Ono. Oluwatamilire Oshodi. Dilara Osteking. Natalia Lima. Andrea Pardo Amil. Jonathan Patrick Perkis. Umvita Ramadugu. Natasha Sangsin. Pataramon Setan Sanet. Noah Setzer. Muelda Fatmata Joanna Smith. Erica Smith. Oluwateniola Sonoiki. Shreya Srikonda. Ilada Sungo. Ayano Takahashi. Minami Uesugi. Oscar Underhill. Charlotte Vinzen. Walata Zebina. Mwabi Zimba. Narika Ahir. Tobias Asleben. Excel Amaefule. Ana Laura Oriola. Cornelia Roper. Agnieszka da Silva Shiska. Chloe Dunning. Talia Gatenby. Vivek Govil. Susu Graham. Lori Amida. Kao Ozo. Thomas Kane. Wangari Alison Kariuki. Zenub Mahmoud. Megan Morgan. Aida Mulugeta Lopez. Bruna Fernandez. Freya Pence. Hazel Reed. Olivia Roberts. Chloe Rothwell. Yato Salah. Mio Senzaki. Faimkam Simsek. Naima Suleiman. Gayatri Suresh. Zaira Maria Tas Cronenberg. Kelly Lilian Tokba. Jade Van Zuidam. Tamvi Varma. Sarah Vogelsanga. Ariel Whitson. Nida Zaira. Benedetta Bassi. Luis Daflon. Sui Nin. Kanna Shibata. Kata Senkirai Tot. Amelia Garrell. Sui Nin. Emily Holmes. Camille Eglantine Marie Jallet. Anna Lee. Edward Manhart. Victoria Yumi Guadalupe Monte. Sophie Revel. Arinchawit Sainangatam. Mowe Semankulabuza. Henry Temoshok. Charles Tobin. Caitlin Tusling. Marcus Valencia. Sabrina Wadon. Mariela de Souza Baker. Alexandra Ferry Smith. Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo. Amy Holly. Tania Fardus. Amanda Landisi. Laila Nezam. Rhoda Saddam. Antene Sembea. Penelope Wyatt Versexas. Heidi Corbali. Susanna Grigsby. Beth Muir. Olga Sarnowska. Delia Sciullo. Selma Liban Abdullahi. Charlotte Gray. Aziz Islam. Mariam Abdul Qadir Osman. Kumar Pritam Puri. Chin Yuan. Christina Satriavi Yusuf. Charis Davis. Yasmin Farouki Kaliz. Siyuan Lydia Liu. Naina Mangtarni. Lamis Mainiar. Muhammad Aras Ridwan bin Azbelai. Indira Efua Echeruo. Filian Ernesta. Dan Tatnell Murray. Anantika Sengupta. Luke Hostin. Aisena Nurchinar. Jack Howells. Bilal Mahmood. Brenda Malley. Winong Mint. Shefali Oberoi. Nadine Zakut. Tania Monica Zucconi Ruiz. Sumaya Nu. Oscar Jetzal. Shaina Begum. And that concludes the presentations of the awards of master's degrees. Madam President, it is my privilege to present further graduates from the Department of Development Studies who have been awarded a Doctor of Philosophy degree. I supervised this one. Jesse Alexander Harber for a dissertation, a thesis entitled The Statecrafts of Large Transport Projects, Bus Rapid Transit in Johannesburg. Hisai Kato for a thesis entitled Rural Labor Regimes in North Kordofan, Work, Family and Violence in Sudan. Tia Rogers for a thesis entitled A Configurational Comparative Approach to Unpuzzling Social Strain in Refugee, Asylum-Seeking and Host Communities in Lebanon and Germany. Khadija Nda Yakubu for a thesis entitled Governance and Security in Africa Beyond the State. Non-state actors and security in Nigeria, a case of Yen Kato Dagora in Kaduna urban area. And that concludes the presentation of the awards of Doctors of Philosophy degrees, and that concludes these parts of the presentation.
Do you want to give the vote of Thank you so much indeed, Matteo. That was a lot of people to get through, but immensely proud of every single one of you. So now that draws this morning's ceremony to a close, and it's been a wonderful ceremony. Now, graduates and colleagues and guests, it's wonderful to be here with all of you, because today is a celebration of your accomplishments, and you must enjoy this special time. And family, I know the immense pride you must be feeling, because as a mother of 4 children myself, I've enjoyed attending the graduation ceremonies of my own children. But there are people to thank. And first of all, students, I would like you, graduates, to thank your families for all the support they have given you. Why not give them a standing ovation? And now, thank you, graduates, and now families. I'm sure you are really basking in the reflected glory of your loved ones and their achievements today, and also a huge sense of relief, I'm sure, that you've got them to this stage finally from that first day at school all those years ago. So I'd like you to acknowledge their achievements by giving them a round of applause. So you can see how you've made your families proud. Now make yourselves proud. Cherish the friendships that you have nurtured here, and go forth and create a life of meaning and purpose for yourselves. Remember everything that you've learnt here at SOAS, and now, students, graduates, I want you to thank the representatives of the academic body who are here with us, from the Vice-Chancellor down to all the academic staff who have made your achievements possible, as well as all the ancillary staff, all the people who make SOAS possible. So please do give them a round of applause. So now, please do join us for refreshments in the Paul Webley Hall, and that concludes the proceedings for this ceremony. By virtue, I should say, renewed congratulations to all of you, and of course to Elizabeth, our honorary graduate. And so now, by virtue of the power vested in me as president, I hereby dissolve this congregation of SOAS University of London. Please stand for the procession.